Welcome to this edition of Women's World. I'm your host, Michaeline Moyabasi. Tonight we share the stories of 9 Papua New Guinean women who took part in the Global Women in Management program. The program is a 1-month workshop that brings together women from diverse cultures and countries to share, examine and adapt best practices worldwide, to expand women's economic opportunities and meet the needs of their communities and their countries. GWIM is supported by Exxon Mobil PNG Limited through its Women's Economic Opportunity Initiative to help women in developing countries fulfill their economic potential and serve as drivers of economic and social change in their community. Here are the Power Marys who represented Papua New Guinea at this year's workshop.
My name is Miriam Kain. I'm from Heights in Tari, Hela province. I'm a chair lady of Peter Wine women group. This la group lo mi all mamai organizing moliet through lo avendram all Exxon Mobil ibin giving all na all meris all yet contribute na bekim skon na kising mani lojla.
My name is Ruth Kisam. I'm from Western Islands, though biologically I'm from Enga, but I'm based out of Hagen, and my organization is called Partners for Change. It is an NGO that works with youths in settlements, and not only youths but women as well. I started Partners for Change in 2013 when I saw that there was a need, especially in settlements, for youths to come together and also to do advocacy in areas of gender-based violence and also in the escalation of sorcery-related violence. So what we've done basically with Partners for Change is gotten community involved, especially in law and order. We are advocating for people, especially women, to have a voice so that they can be able to know their rights in law and also in maternal health, youth, economic empowerment. Basically, it's about communal living. How do we live together, especially in settlements, when people look at settlements and say that what good can come out of settlements? Well, Partners for Change are based in settlements so that we can make our people in settlements have basic rights and know their rights as well.
My name is Miriam Leighton, and I come from Eastern Highlands Province. I'm with 80 projects, appropriate technology projects, and it's a local NGO, local technical NGO, and it's based in Goroka, Eastern Highlands Province. I have 3 technical staff, 3 female technical staff on the staff, and 1 is mechanic, second one is engineer, and the third one is carpenter. And carpenter is part of the team. Only 1 female, but she's a good carpenter, and she goes out and she builds toilet. The mechanic is in charge of 23 lawnmowers. She is trained to go with small planes quarterly. She refills and she maintains our lawnmower. So the airstrips can be maintained so that the pilots can fly in and bring the most needed services for our rural people. The third one, engineer, she is involved in building road bridges. She will be going to Enga province and finish 1, which we have started. And we've done 8 road bridges already in very remote areas like Obrawonara.
Name blo mi am Shelly Dagali. Mi blo Power Village. Moran PDL5 Moran. Na organization blo mi am Homa Power Women's Agriculture and Business Group. Okay, mi blo mi sa look at the mama group lo mi blo sa making baking all scones, muffin cake. Na blasa lugatim all poultry, na planning all vegetables, garden cakes, rice farming, fish farming, na all this la. Work me blasa making.
My name is Elizabeth Omeri. I am the Public Relations and Marketing Manager for Bukbulon Pikinini. Bukbulon Pikinini has made an impact in Papua New Guinea. We now have 17 libraries across Papua New Guinea, and we more focus on early childhood literacy. And I can say it's impacted Papua New Guinea in a major way is because we've seen through our success stories, monitoring evaluation reports, we've come to see that a lot of children that have passed through informal way of learning through early childhood in Bukbulon Pikinini libraries have been doing very well in the elementary schools, and we've had reports from the teachers, from the principals coming from these elementary schools, how much they've seen the progress in these children through their reading.
My name is Margaret Eiler, and I work with PNG Women's Chamber of Commerce and Industry. I'm the secretary for the organisation. The role of PNG Women's Chamber of Commerce and Industry is to establish an environment to empower women who are in business or planning to go into business to build their businesses.
My name is Tess Gizoria. I'm from Papua New Guinea, and my organisation is called Unimums. It's not Unimums is not an organisation. I like to think of it as a community that provides support for young parenting girls in university. So Unimums, the whole reason why Unimums was created was to help. I felt that there was a need to help change my country, 2 young Papua New Guineans at a time, and so it also started from a very personal experience of having my son when I was still at uni, and I thought that experience was something like singular that no other young girl in PNG faces. But then when I did go back to uni after my son was born, I realized that I had a lot in common with so many other young girls who were struggling to in the same experiences. The only difference was I had a very supportive dad, and even though my mom was out of the picture for a while, she was also supportive from a distance, which wasn't something that was common throughout all the other girls' experiences. And so I thought maybe we should give them the community they needed to help support them through university, because not everyone had the same opportunities I had.
My name is Rita Jaima Paro, and I'm from Manus and Popondetta, and I run and I own and manage a catering business called Dialer Lunch Services, and we operate here in Port Moresby. Because I had the passion of cooking and baking, I found out that I was able to use those skills and talents to create a market, and so I started baking and selling just outside of my home. So I did an informal market, and I sold many other things, and in that I also had muffins and cookies and cakes going. So that became successful because then that was bringing in quite a bit of money, and I was able to support my children then. And I expanded that market to selling out on the weekends out at the sporting fields, and then I thought, maybe I could do a bit more sales. So I started doing food packs, and every time I did food packs, I saw that it was selling, and so I increased sales, or rather the quantity of the food packs that I was doing, and I saw that it was actually bringing in a fair bit of money. So whilst doing that, the kids then were enrolled in elementary schools, and I thought, being a stay-home mom, I should also sell at their schools, and whilst waiting for the kids to complete their classes. And so I started selling at their school. And because I was more literate than the other mothers that were selling, I was able to help them, tell them about safe food handling and food safety and how to pack their foods and the proper way. And so that helped, build that skill also.
Welcome back to Women's World. The Global Women in Management program covered lessons on management, leadership, communication, administration, fundraising and networking. The 9 Papua New Guinean women who attended the workshop this year were also taught project and financial management and advocacy, among other skills. Here on Women's World, they share their insight and plans for their communities.
We mean goal of 4 weeks law Jakarta mem challenge him mim bin line him plenty something. Law management, leadership, technology man nami bin challenge him plenty misa sampla minus are make him longan sampla misa make him longan one time all mama group na empowering me. Me serve me goal training longan helping me na empowering me so me serve all mama group lo me by kisim training too so me must go back na learning one something me learning law training.
The training we went through was very, very powerful. They provide training in strengthening our management, leadership, technical skills to enhance us to scale the opportunities we have to empower women in, to help women in economic development. And there were so many areas of training. They have also, the training we went through was financial management, gender, the emotional intelligence is to look at ourselves and just question what we have been doing, who you are, where are your weaknesses, what can you do to better your management skills or whatever you were doing in the field before we went. So it was very enriching, very powerful because 6 countries have sent their representatives and we all shared, and it was very, very powerful.
Law Indonesia me been learning plenty something. That's all. The big plus something me kisim longen lo disla me kisim management, training skills, na leadership.
I've learned so much, especially on how emotional intelligence, situational leadership, that is something that I've taken away with me because I work with high-risk individuals in settlements, you see, and you have to understand where they're coming from. Some of them do not do the things that they do because they want to. Some of them do it because of the situation they face themselves in. Some of them, they have parents that cannot be able to send them to school, so they start making steam in order to survive. And though they're impounding to social ills, that's their way to survive. How can you be able to come up with a program that can help them? So for me, going to the GWIM program actually helped me to understand what I am, who I am as a leader, and how I can be able to better interact with others around me so that I can be able to not only help them, but also help our communities, come up with programs that can help our communities. So I have not only learned on myself, I've learned about the organization, I've learned about the community, how to involve community in the work that I do. I would like to do training with my executives at Partners for Change. I would like to talk to them especially about advocacy, how to help them realize that they have a voice, to use that. And also fundraising is something that also we'd like to do, because so many times we have this attitude of looking outside for help without realizing that we can actually use the resources that we have to help ourselves. Run some training on economic empowerment for the women that we have. Most of the women from settlements, they sell things at market. They buy from the local women, and then they come back to the settlements, they start to tie those little food up, they cook a bit of food, and then they sell them. So what we want to do is help them run a few training on economic empowerment, especially to have a saving culture. So they save their money, which gives them a bargaining power over how they live their lives. So that's what I would like to do when I get back.
There is so much that I've learned out of Global Women in Management. One of the key things that I've learned about is the emotional intelligence. and morals and ethical behaviors in the organizations. Sometimes you see things, and because of your moral and the values that you have built in your life, when you work in an organization or in a company and you see things are not right, but then you don't have a choice. You have to follow what the management's needs is, and that can challenge your ethical behavior, challenge your moral behaviors in ethical behavior. And we've learned about different skills to do with organizational management, business management, community management, and personal family management. And all these things really forms and builds a woman and strengthens in order to move things and be able to manage a life well. When that was inbuilt into us, we were upskilled in global women in management.
During the training, we learned gender analysis, business models, financial management, project management, fundraising, writing proposals. The secretarial or the secretary role that I play is also coordinates the training and events for the members. So after this training, I plan to develop training programs, events for our members to transfer the skills that I have learned from the training.
I didn't even know that I needed skills to do this. I thought it was just going to be relationships I had with young women. And so what GWIM has enabled me to do is really sit down and think, okay, how do you want to execute it? How big do you want Unimums to get? Who do you need, and what kind of skills should they have to help you? And people can't help you if they don't know how to help you. So communication, building my communication skills was something I really needed. Like, I didn't even know that the 4 other young women, or the 3 other young women who were working with me, had very little idea about my vision and my dream for Unimums. And so as soon as I got back, I was like, oh goodness, I need to start a WhatsApp group and keep them updated. So I did that, and thankfully they're all on board now. And yeah, just communication has been one of the biggest highlights of this, and it's something I plan on using very frequently. At least get in touch with them every day, talk to them, see how they're doing, because you can learn a lot from other people's inputs as well.
For me, going there, I didn't really see myself as a leader. I didn't think I was a leader because I never thought I was a leader. I knew I owned a business, but I didn't see myself as a leader in a community. And so that was a real eye-opener for me. And I said, oh, yes, I have a lot more to give back to the community that I work with and that I live with, because from what I do, I can actually inspire so many other lives to do exactly the same thing. And so that was what I brought back, that the GWIM training has actually molded me to become a better person. I have identified which areas that I can now work using my business to help other ladies. And so there were certain tools in the business area where I can now implement, and I can teach and coach other ladies, other women, disadvantaged girls and women who want to start up little informal businesses. And so this information that I've collected from the training, I will use to help these ladies.
Me like to thank you lo Exxon Mobil lo funding this program na pani matol Mary, where stable na lahab inubin save lo bokum this lakan program mo blokira bimol mama lo bokum business blol mo iguantap.
I would like to thank Plan USA and especially Exxon Mobil here in Papua New Guinea who have sponsored the training. It will. I feel before I went, I was unsure of what was to come, and after the training, I feel a total inspired to carry on carry on the work and be more active in the chamber.
But GWIM has sort of humanized the old perspective that I have on Exxon Mobil, that they are involved in empowering women. So for that, I would like to thank them, and also thank the other women in right across this nation that are involved in working in their own communities, people that are working in their communities. And we don't even get them on TV, but they are hardworking people in very rural areas that give their time, their resources. I would like to commend them as well. And if there's any way of them getting their story out, it'll be awesome.
I could go on and on about all these tools that we have learned, but taking them back into the organization and being able, what I could do, I may have done it, but not in a very confident way. But now going back into the organization, I know I can do it. I can be able to do fundraising on my own. I can be able to do project management. I can be able to help capacity build some of my colleagues.
Basalensim mol sampla Meril Lafianti or some legally something you make him long and not give up. One something you make him low community or development, you like him come inside, na sabotim all family, na make him longer, you must make him.
Since 2006, 53 Papua New Guinean women have benefited from the GWIM training held in Indonesia, USA, and for the first time in PNG in 2014. This year, attendees bring the total to 62 women.
My name is Sisa Kini, and I'm the Strategic Community Investments Manager with Exxon Mobil PNG. And my role basically involves running all of our strategic community investments here in Papua New Guinea. But in addition to that, I also coordinate our Global Women in Management program. Exxon Mobil's Women's Empowerment Program is one of the key cross-cutting areas that we focus on. Our programs are quite wide-ranging in that we address health, education, livelihood support, which is mostly agriculture, and also law and justice. But cutting across all of this is our various women's empowerment initiatives. In particular, outside of our company with our programs, as I mentioned earlier, the Global Women in Management is one of the key programs. But also within the company, we have various different initiatives that focus on addressing issues such as women in leadership, management, as well as a wider social issue around domestic violence. So the Global Women in Management program is an initiative that came about as part of Exxon Mobil's Women Economic Initiative opportunities back in 2005. In 2006, Exxon Mobil selected its first two participants to attend the GWIM program. And myself and Dominica Abo from Anglicare were the first participants to be selected and sent over to Washington, D.C., and we spent a month there. Since then, Exxon Mobil has been sending women over the past 10 years, and last month we had 9 attend the program in Indonesia. We now have a total alumni of about 62 women in 15 provinces in Papua New Guinea. How successful has the program been for PNG women? I think these 62 women are trailblazers amongst the GWIM participants across the globe. I think one of the key issues that I'd like to emphasize on a little bit more with women, networking, I think that is really critical ingredient to support women's economic empowerment, and this is what we're doing through the GWIM program, is we're identifying women leaders that are out there in their communities, and we're allowing them through the program to connect and to create a network that they can leverage off each other. And I think there's a myth out there that strong women do not work together, and this is something that needs to be overcome in the sense that yeah, we may be strong and we may have our own individual ways of doing things and be influenced by our cultural norms, but there is a greater issue where women do need to come together. And that's what I love about the GWIM network, is that they've gone through a 1-month training program. So there's a shared experience, a shared set of values, and they come away with that, and they're able to use that to continue to inspire and grow each other. So I think finding a network, finding a common ground with other women, and building on each other is really critical too.
Research shows that when women have control over their incomes, they invest in the health, education and well-being of their families. They also tend to reach out to propel other women forward, creating a powerful multiplier effect that benefits all of society. And that concludes this edition of Women's World. Follow our Facebook page, search Women's World EMTV for more information and send us a message. We'd love to hear from you. Until next time, enjoy the rest of your viewing on your #1 to watch, EMTV.